Planning to travel for the holidays? Experts say you'll be among millions of people doing it this season. And as folks are gathering with family and friends this Thanksgiving, today some nursing home residents received some special guests.
Plus, we've got some clouds, some sunshine, even some showers on the way for Thanksgiving Day and Thanksgiving weekend. Breaking it all down coming up as Mountain News at 6 starts now.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
The holidays are here, and thousands of people will be traveling through the Commonwealth to see their loved ones. WYMT's Alyssa Williams is live along I-75 in London with more on some of the travel trends experts are seeing this year. Alyssa.
COVID-19 may have kept many families apart over the last two holiday seasons, but travel experts say that might not be the case this year.
We're predicting about 719,000 Kentuckians will travel 50 miles or more from home this Thanksgiving. On a national level, we're predicting nearly 55 million will travel.
Lori Weaver Hawkins with AAA Bluegrass says despite current gas prices, more people will be driving themselves to their Thanksgiving destinations.
Of those 719,000 plus Kentuckians that will be traveling, about 96% of those will be going by personal vehicle.
This includes drivers like Kevin Pena, who is traveling from Ohio to spend Thanksgiving with family in Georgia.
Traffic has definitely been a little bit hectic. I mean, definitely a lot of cops out, but overall not too bad. It's been a comfortable ride so far.
Experts say roadways will be busiest between 4 and 8 p.m., so heading out earlier could be better.
Just take your time. You know, I know it's a holiday, people want to get to destinations, but you know what, just take your time. Once you get there, you'll be excited and you won't have any issues.
Officials with AAA say although driving is the preferred method of travel this Thanksgiving, more people also took buses, trains, and even more boats than they've seen in the past. In London, Alyssa Williams, WYMT Mountain News.
All right, looks like it was a beautiful sunset behind you there tonight, Alyssa. Thank you very much. And so far, so good as far as no major accidents we've heard of today. So hopefully it stays that way through the whole holiday weekend. Experts say they expect these travel trends that Alyssa mentioned to continue on through Christmas as well. Well, as folks are making trips home for the Thanksgiving holiday, some are visiting their family members in nursing homes. WYMT's Dakota Makris stopped by one Eastern Kentucky Health and Rehab Center as families enjoyed a Thanksgiving meal together.
Serving up turkey and smiles at Hazard Health and Rehabilitation Center.
We serve it up. We go back and get dessert for them, any punch, water, whatever they want to drink.
The center served Thanksgiving meals to its residents and their families Tuesday and Wednesday. Like Carisha Friley, she says her dad thought it was only her showing up for lunch, but her other family members, like his granddaughter and brother, tagged along.
It was just overwhelming for him, but he's so happy. And that, as his daughter, that makes me happy, and I'm proud to be able to do it.
Her dad fell in early October and broke his hip. He has also survived both floods in Eastern Kentucky, one last year and then this year. He is at the Center for Rehab.
But I try to come every day and be very supportive, and I love coming and just seeing how, he's doing here.
And it is also a happy moment for nursing home staff to see families enjoy a meal together.
We can see their smiles when we couldn't in the past. They can see our smiles. It's easier to communicate, especially if a resident doesn't have the ability to normally communicate like we do.
Wishing their residents a happy Thanksgiving. In Hazard, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
The center is also hosting a Christmas craft and vendor event this Friday from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. One family in Floyd County has returned to their home following the July floods that rocked much of the region. The Haney Camp home and small business sustained heavy damage during the flooding, but 4 months later, their family has returned. Homeowners Onis and Deidre Haney Camp say They had hoped to be back in time for Thanksgiving, and they are thankful they've met that goal.
I couldn't believe we were doing it. I mean, tomorrow's Thanksgiving. We got our goal. I get to use the new stove to make Thanksgiving dinner, feed the family.
The family says their small business, Haney Camp Manor Bikes and Books, has not reopened because they've been focused on their home, but hope to be back in business in the near future. We'll have more with the Haney Camps tonight at 11.
A fantastic evening underway throughout the region. All is quiet weather-wise, which means all those travel plans should be moving rather smoothly, or at least if they're not, you can't blame the weather for it. Outside right now, here's the look from Whitesburg. All is quiet, as you'd expect, 5 after 6. With the last of the sun's rays there going behind the mountain in the background, low to mid-50s out there. Already 48 in Jonesville, 49 Monticello, or Middlesboro, excuse me. How about 44 in Monticello? So already some very cold temperatures moving into the region. It's all quiet on Pinpoint Doppler, so the next few hours we're in the 40s and eventually into the 30s as we watch some of those clouds continue to work on into the region. Details in a few on when we could see a couple of showers try to return to the forecast this weekend. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The funeral arrangements for former Kentucky Governor John Y. Brown Jr. are now set. Brown died this week at the age of 88. Brown's visitation will take place next Tuesday, November 29th, at the Kentucky Capitol Rotunda, where he will lie in state. The funeral service will be at 3 p.m. on November 30th. Brown served as governor from 1979 to 1983 and had various business ventures, including being a co-owner of KFC and owner of several sports teams, and he was once married to former Miss America and broadcaster Phyllis George. We now know the funeral arrangements for an 18-year-old who died following a crash last week. The Knott County coroner confirmed Christopher Drake Smith died on November 19th after a crash on Highway 80 near the Knott-Perry County line. After the crash, Smith was taken to the Johnson City Medical Center, which is where he died. The visitation will be tomorrow from 6 till 10 p.m. and on Friday at the Nelson Frazier Funeral Home. The funeral will begin at noon on Saturday. Loretta Lynn fans have started a petition to rename a state park after the queen of country music. Loretta's daughter, Peggy Marchetti, said her mom would be so honored by this. She said 25,000 signatures are needed so they can ask Governor Andy Beshear for the state's consideration in renaming the Paintsville Lake State Park the Loretta Lynn State Park. Lynn died on October 4th at her home in Hurricane Mills, Tennessee, at the age of 90.
She's given a voice to those coal miners that have just, have worked so hard, to the rural women, just so much. To get this park named after her would be really cool. And it just tickles me because I know that she would love it.
Well, it's been just 2 weeks since Election Day, but already at least one state lawmaker reelected to his post is leaving. Tennessee's governor says Kentucky Senator and Dr. Ralph Alvarado will be his new health commissioner. Alvarado has served in the Kentucky General Assembly for 7 years. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on the announcement and reaction from Kentucky Republicans who want to keep his seat in GOP hands.
Voters in Clark and several other counties had just elected Dr. Ralph Alvarado to another Senate term, but in mid-January, he'll be leaving to become Tennessee's commissioner for the Department of Health.
It's a hit to us as Republicans. We've been grateful to have Senator Alvarado in the Senate and serving as chair of the Health and Welfare Committee.
Wednesday afternoon, Senator Alvarado issued a statement saying that he will remain in his post through the first week of the 2023 session. He also said, "Serving the people of the 28th Senate District has been the honor of my life. I am incredibly thankful for my time in the Kentucky Senate since first being elected in 2014. I'll always be grateful for my constituents' continued faith and trust in me. Working alongside my Senate and House colleagues is an experience I will always treasure, and the friendships I have developed will last a lifetime." Then he goes on to say the hardest part of this transition is knowing that I will no longer be the voice for my constituents in Frankfort upon my resignation. Tennessee's governor says Dr. Alvarado brings decades of diverse medical experience, including hospital management, and 30 years as an attending physician. Alvarado chaired the Health and Welfare Committee. He pushed for limits to abortion access and asked for more legislative involvement during the COVID-19 pandemic.
So Senator Alvarado, being a doctor, of course, himself, knows medical issues better than most people. So he was obviously brought that perspective to his role in the General Assembly. And we saw that all throughout his tenure.
According to a press release from the Tennessee governor, Dr. Alvarado will begin his new post January 16th. In Clark County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Senate President Robert Stivers is expected to call for a special election after the session starts next year. One man is facing serious charges following a grand jury indictment on Monday. 45-year-old Lonnie Huff of Emelina is accused of taking part in an armed robbery at Lloyd Williams Jewelry Store in Corbin earlier this year. The indictment says Huff threatened to hurt people and had a pistol in his possession during the incident, which took place on August 19th. He faces robbery and being a persistent felony offender charges. The suspect had already been convicted on previous felony charges in Perry County and was still on probation. He's being held on a $50,000 cash bond.
Well, coming up, showers may hold off until after dark tomorrow. We got some more mild air on the way for Turkey Day. The breakdown on a stuffed forecast coming up. Plus,
with the official kickoff to the holiday shopping season rapidly approaching, we spoke with a small business owner who explains why shopping small makes a big difference.